Hi Aquarius, welcome to your October 2016 love reading. So, I've had quite a journey with technology today. Somebody wrote me on YouTube and said, that I must have said something about technology with the September reading. And the person said that they were watching other Aquarius videos and the same thing was happening for them on those readings. So I don't know if it's something directly associated with Aquarius or what, but this is like wild, so that's why this is already laid out, because I did it and then it went kaput. So anyway, I'm glad to be back doing it. So in any case, the overall energy for this time period of October is the Nine of Cups, which is a very positive card when it comes to emotional well-being, but it is also associated with abundance financially for whatever reason. It's so weird about the number 9, because Sagittarius rules the 9th house, and Jupiter, 9th house in astrology, and this might be where this is coming from, where it's like too much of a good thing. Jupiter is larger than life. I don't know that this card actually connects to Jupiter, but just the number 9, and then you have the number 9 in the major arcana, the Hermit card. So you have the two extremes, which is connected to Virgo and is actually more of a very contemplative energy. This is eat, drink, and be merry, or however that goes. This is the yes card. It's very affirmative for your wishes being fulfilled. And it's very interesting, the contrast of this, because if we look at the recent past, we get the Four of Cups, which is, a lackluster emotion, disinterest, okay? Now, the thing that I find very odd about the past, present, and near future, or you could say that that this King of Cups is the current. That this is more of the theme, and this is like the current energy, or the current person in your life. Now, this would be someone who is possibly a water sign, just by the virtue of being a cup sign. So this could be a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, not necessarily with the sun position, but another prominent position, who just kind of gives off a very, I was going to say affectionate, but I mean more like sympathetic ear and vibe, and is still very authoritative. The king is somebody who is in control of their emotions. They're not like the knight or the page in that sense, where there's either naivete, somebody who's more gullible, or somebody who is very romantic but not necessarily disciplined in that. Sometimes you get carried away. And this is somebody who is very mature emotionally. Now, getting those 3 cups like that, for a sign like Aquarius is very strange. I've happened to come across a few Aquarians doing this type of reading who actually seem to be quite emotional people. So maybe it's not strange at all. Your personal planets will be in signs close to the sun, so it's very possible that many of you have personal planets like Venus and Mars in Pisces. Now, your moon sign could also be a water sign, can be any sign, and so can your rising sign. It goes so quickly. So yeah, you could be more emotional than I think you are. But whatever's happening, you've come out of this period of feeling pretty blasé. And, that's something to really think about, because that feeling is a terrible feeling, actually. They're making it like, oh, it's a flat feeling and it's just like kind of indifference. But it's not just indifference. Indifference about life is pretty bad as far as I'm concerned. I think that you should have a sense of passion. Now, you don't, I stand corrected, you do have a Wands card as the final card. So that does relate to passion. But, I'm not talking about being like over the top. I'm just talking about having an emotional connection to something. And apparently some of you did not have that. And I'm talking about in terms of a relationship. You didn't have that emotional connection. And so for whatever reason, now you do. Now you're feeling a sense of being, feeling like you're. I always say this is like the cat that ate the canary, though. It's kind of a mixed bag in that sense, because it could be overly indulgent, and there's almost like a gloating, look on the person's face, like, yeah, and what, that type of an attitude, like I got this thing that I wanted. And when you think like that, it's because you're trying to show somebody else that, you could, to prove yourself, or to show that, to compete with somebody else and to say you don't have it and I do. But it could just be you enjoying yourself. Like, sometimes the reaction that comes from, having such a dull mentality, and then having, something, your dreams come true, is such a stretch that maybe it just naturally produces that type of emotion within you. And then the King of Cups, this person, is really somebody mature, somebody that is not going to be overly maudlin or sentimental, and you're not going to like that. Even let's say this was a really an actual water sign individual, you're not going to go for that gooey stuff. If they're going to be caring, that's fine, but you're not the type to be too sentimental, too cutesy wootsy. I don't know how else to put it. That's, overly like saccharine. That's just not, an Aquarian is going to turn the other way. As a matter of fact, some Aquarians don't like, excessive emotion, even in the positive variety. And so somebody who is excessively gushing about something might turn you off. I often wonder if NPR is they hire only Aquarians because they always talk very coolly, and that's the kind of thing I'm talking about, the lack of emotion just in the intellect. Like emotions are something that are very distasteful. So there could be somebody that you really feel, let's put it this way, there's that soul connection. And that is a wonderful thing. And you're kind of celebrating, I think, with that Nine of Cups during October, because it's such a contrast to what you had before. The spiritual message of this situation is represented by the Ace of Swords. So this is really, you could say that this is almost like a new beginning, but it's a victory card. It's so, these cards kind of are similar. But this is a card, if I am not mistaken, is related to kind of triumphing over adverse circumstances. So I really feel that, it's coming back to that situation, that you really kind of were left high and dry emotionally for some reason. Maybe it was a long-term marriage. Anytime that I see swords, I think of like maybe even legal decisions. I don't know if that connects directly to the Ace of Swords, But it's definitely about seeing things as they really are and having, that clarity of thought that is so important. What crosses you is the Page of Pentacles. This can be an actual earth sign individual who maybe that's the person and they're still trying to maintain the relationship, what have you. As I'm saying this, we are in a Mercury retrograde in an earth sign connected, which is connected to Pentacles, and pages relate to messages. So if you're watching in September, maybe there will be someone trying to contact you, maybe your ex trying to contact you, get you back, and you're not having it, but maybe there's a part of you that has a hard time dealing with the situation because maybe you don't want to reject them, you thought it was over, you found somebody new, and you just want to move on. The Ace of Swords is like you've got a whole new thought pattern going on here. So it could be somebody trying to get a hold of you, or some kind of message that, kind of creates a little bit of drama in your life for whatever reason, throws a monkey wrench into things. If somebody is trying to get back with you, you're going to have to be, I think that this card is kind of also letting you know that you're going to have that. You are represented by swords, air signs are swords. So there is that kind of sharp communication that is presented by, the Ace of Swords, the beginnings of that. It's like you wanting to start anew, and that, and just like leave the past behind. And you're good about that. You're good about reinventing yourself. So you can do it, but you might have this, I don't know if you'd call it unfinished business, but there might be somebody still trying to pull you into their thing. Okay. So just be on the lookout for that, that's all. And the attitude to adopt is represented by the Hangman. And this is just about letting go of the need to control the situation. So if there are some loose ends, maybe you are still connected to this past person, and this card is like kind of the go-between. This is like showing that, well, actually these two cards are showing like a new path for you in love and in, the way that you think about things. But there still may be some loose ends, and you may be trying to get them sorted out. And this card is all about saying, don't worry about it. It'll take care of itself. And it's really wonderful when we can let go and let God, because I do believe in free will, and I believe that we create our own reality, but I do think there's such a thing as grace. I do think that sometimes, whether you want to say it's from God or our spirit guides, our loved ones who have passed over, a combination thereof, I believe that sometimes we just cannot get out of a rut or some situation, and something comes in for us. And some people just chalk it up to luck or just a random turn of events, and I don't think so. I think sometimes we are being helped from the unseen world. And the Hangman card is about kind of acknowledging that and not worrying. It's like saying the universe has your back. So you don't have to, it's like how everything is worked out is none of my business. All I have to do is understand that the universe has my back. And then I let go. Sometimes you have to take action. But in this particular situation, you might be better off not trying to impose your will on the situation. Now, what's interesting for the advice, I do not get reverse cards very much anymore. When I first started, I was a little bit more, it's funny, I wonder if it was energetic. I wonder if it was really energetic, because I'm not checking the cards right now, but it seemed like I would lose cards a lot, and it seemed like they would be reversed, like I'd have the deck upside down. And this is like, lately I've been getting some reversed cards, and the rest of the deck is perfectly fine. So I would look at this as being a reversed card. I do read reversed cards. The advice is represented by the Four of Coins or Pentacles in reverse. Now, I'm going to interpret it my own way and say that you need to let go. I think it's almost like kind of a reiteration of that card, where it's saying that you need to, the Four of Pentacles in the upright position is about controlling one's money and resources, and just a basic sense of control over what is happening. And the problem is that sometimes we try to control too much, and there can be excessive materialism. So that is a possible hint, if that is something that rules you. It doesn't seem like it normally would for an Aquarian, but I'm also just thinking right now that this could be related to this earth sign individual, that there's something off about that type of relationship, and to really, it's right underneath the challenge position, Two Pentacles here. So if you have been involved with either a Taurus or a Virgo or Capricorn individual in the past, and that was the person who left you flat and feeling disinterested, if they try to get back with you, understand that that might not be a very good place to be. Now, this person might be, now that I'm thinking about it, might be a marital partner, because fours represent home and family. So if you're thinking about reuniting possibly with that person, I want you to think about how that person made you feel. Maybe you've been separated, and you're thinking to yourself, well, as often happens when there is a separation, it can mean people who are, thinking, the idealistic thoughts about the relationship. They say absence makes the heart grow fonder. So if that is what has been happening for you, that you have been separated from somebody and now you're starting to get all warm and fuzzy and thinking about the good times, remember why you separated, because that may help you if you're on the fence, if you might feel a tug of sympathy, especially if you have children together, and you have to make the decision that's best for you. But just remember that if you idealize the situation, you will be looking at it from a very false, point of view, because it's not what it really shakes out to be. It's not what you're claiming it to be. The outcome is the Queen of Wands, and so this is a card. Now, again, this could be an actual person. The court cards can actually represent people, so this could be a fire sign person who you are, head over heels for. When I mentioned about the King of Cups, and I said about a mature person emotionally, it doesn't mean that that person has to be a water sign. And actually, it's very interesting, because the King of Cups and the Queen of Wands both are a mixture of male and feminine energy. And so, the Cups is a receptacle, so it's a passive energy, it's a feminine energy. The Wands is a active and masculine energy. But then the Queen and the King, feminine, masculine. So it could be that you've met somebody that is very well integrated with that, And this person, now you see, look at how I started all of this. Well, I won't say started, but the first card here, it wasn't the first card I dealt, but the top card here and then the bottom card here. We have something that's disinterested and we have something that's passionate. And as I said to you before, knowing that there was a Wands card, I said, you know, you need that passion in life. And maybe that was lacking. And now you have this person. And, you know, by the way, you could be that queen, especially as a woman. You could be getting that passion, that cheerfulness back into your life because you're with the right person and it's the person isn't dragging you down like some other people we know, right? And so it ends on a very enthusiastic and positive note, whatever is happening for you. But it started pretty good too, because 9 of Cups and the King of Cups. So we also get the King and Queen energies. So there could be parental concerns. Pages can refer to children. So that might be figuring into any kind of breakup or getting together with another person. You might be mindful of children that are involved with it. So in any case, Aquarius, I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you'd like a private reading, please click on the link to my website, which is below this video. Otherwise, have a great October. Bye.